I'm going to demonstrate a way of attaching buttons that I think is quick and easy and very robust. It uses this very heavy, I'll call it cobbler's thread, wax-coated nylon, and a 4-hole back button and a 2-hole front button. This is a demo I made using about the smallest button I could probably use. But for this demo on the video, I'm going to use a bigger back button with bigger holes so I don't have more trouble. So, since you have to put the thread through some of the back button holes twice, and it's heavy thread, you need to use as small a needle as you can get away with. So if I can get that to focus, and that needle is very small. In fact, you can barely see through it, maybe because it's filled with wax. But it's possible to get the thread through there. If you can get the individual strands of that thread through the eye, all lined up, then you can pull the thread through, untwisting as it goes through a couple inches ahead, and then retwisting it those 2 inches as it comes out the other side, and just keep doing that an inch or two at a time until you have it where you want it. Now, how do you tie the knot to get it all started? You pick a hole in the back button, and you go through. I'm a little awkward using the camera view, but if I don't use the camera view, I'm likely to wander off the camera. And then you come through the adjacent hole from the other side, like that. And then you go through the opposite hole across the tail. And that makes a knot that will not pull out, will not slip. Now, you can go through your fabric. You can see there's holes already there. I've done this before. And that makes it a little easier if you have the holes with a large needle ahead of time, because a small needle and a large thread is difficult to pull through. Now we go through one of the holes of our front button. This is awkward doing it in the camera view. And then through the fabric. What is going on here? We don't need to get it really snug at this point. Now we got to find the correct hole to go through on this back button. And it's the hole opposite the one that has a thread going through the fabric. Uh-oh. And since there's already a thread going through that hole, it's a good idea not to catch the thread or it'll lock up. Now we cross over to the opposite hole along with the previous thread. Cut my fabric again because I can't see very well. Now I think it's a good idea, maybe too late already, to get the distance we want. I probably should have done it before. It's probably even snugger than maybe Okay, let's try this. So now what we do, we can probably figure it out already, is we come through opposite that tail. I would like to do it without catching the thread. And now we'll move the tail over to the side. And I'll go through right next to it, trying not to catch the threads. Oops. It's not as awkward if you're not making a video. Now this one, oh, it's not too bad. Keep the tail out of the way so we don't bunch it up. And there it is. Just next thing to do, which I don't think I need to include on the video, is to clip it off. I would leave, 3 to 5 millimeters, maybe the width of maybe to the edge of the back button. But anyway, I've never had one of these pull out. I've never had one wear out, but once I did have a back button break. And that's how hard I've used them. I've used them hard enough to pull the center out of the back button. They don't wash out in the washing machine. The wax does wash off, but the button doesn't come loose. I've never had one come loose.